Hi, welcome to PHP and MySQL video. This is a list of suggestions how you should use this video. The notes for this video can be found here at this URL, which is loaded here. Okay, we are going to scroll down to the last to the part that we're going to do today. We're going to scroll all the way down, and we are going to do some extra examples, other examples. We are going to do how to use PHP to dynamically create text boxes. We need to do this because sometimes we do not know what kind of we do not know the number of input a user want to make. For example, here, let's say we are going to look at example example 102. Say, hey, how many text boxes do you have? Let's say 5. Submit a form. And what are the 5 text boxes? What are the input? Let's say we key in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And say submit form. We are going to get all the output from the text boxes. And we can print the value from an array, and we can do some calculations. And we can even print the value using an associative array. Okay. Let's say we only have 2 text boxes, 3 text boxes. And we say we need 21, 31, and 41. Again, they are going to do the calculation. So because a lot of times you do not know, for example, when you're doing some kind of user input, you do not know how many user inputs the user want to put in. So you create some kind of something called dynamic text boxes. Okay. To do this example, we need 3 files. E.g., we need 3 files. E.g. 102 choice.php. In this file, you basically ask user how many text boxes they want. And then this file is going to send to the second file, EG102 dynamic textbox.php. So in this file, the user is going to generate the number of dynamic text boxes. And then finally, it's sent to the last file, EG101 dynamic process.php. So in the third file, you can get the input from this file, input from the text boxes from this file, and then show it to the user. And you can do other things. You can store into a database. You can, do the things that you want to do. You can retrieve other information from the database and do some calculation here. Okay, 3 files. All right, so that's so the first thing you want to do is, of course, start your exam. We don't even need to use MySQL here because I'm not dealing with database at all. Of course, you can store into database here, then you need MySQL, but for this case, we just need Apache. Okay. And the second thing we want to do is we want to open File Explorer. So your File Explorer is here. Go to your C drive, temp, my PHP, and I'm just going to create a new folder called other_examples. Okay. And I want to create a first file. It's a PHP file, but I can just make a copy from my HTML file here. I'm going to copy my EG001, paste it into other examples, and rename it to rename it to eg102 underscore choice dot php. Are you sure? Yes. And then I can do the editing. All right, before I forget, some people may wonder why I call the third file eg101. Because in my example, I actually created another way of creating dynamic text box using JavaScript alone, not PHP, which is very tedious. I'm not going to show you in the video. You can use it though, but just not. I'm not going to show you. And EG101 can work with both examples. Okay. All right. Let's open EG102 choice in Notepad++. Note that I changed it to PHP, and I can start changing things like the title EG102 choice. Okay, and in the body we have H1. Please choose the number of text boxes. Control S to save. Let's see the output. Come back here in. Let me close this. And we need our localhost, my PHP. I'm just going to Control C and Control V here. And go to other examples and look at EG102 choice. We have our title and please choose the number of text boxes. The next thing we want to do is we want to, and you see the URL here is looking at the choice. We want to give user a drop down of 1 to 10, number 1 to 10. So we need a form first. And this form is going to go to the second file, which is called EG102 dynamic text box. So I'm just going to copy it. And you can use get method or post method. I'm just going to use post method. And action is the second file. Okay. And we are going to create a select, which is for the drop-down list. And obviously we have to capture the value in the second file. We need to give it a name. I'm just going to call it select number. Is case sensitive, so just be careful. And then I'm going to create the syntax for a drop-down. The syntax for a drop-down is option, value, and what you see here. So let's say I want to put a value 1, and the show is 1. I'm going to do it here. You will get that. Very nice. Okay, and before I forget, let me create a submit button. Okay, I'm just going to give you a name. It doesn't really matter. I want to give a name just to show that you can get the name of the text box as well. Type is a submit button, and value is submit form. Submit form. Control S to save. So you have your little form done. If you submit this, you'll get error because this file is not created yet. So if you submit form, you get oops, error. Okay. All right. Now I want to do this 1 to 10. You can hard code this, but you can also write a for loop for that. Just repeat this. Okay. To write a for loop, I'm sure to wrap a for loop around it, you need a PHP in front. And you need a PHP after. And I'm sure everybody knows how to write a for loop. So before and close the loop after. Get the syntax first. 1 to 10. Increase by 1. Control S to save. Reload, you have a very, oops, 14, error. Okay, syntax error, semicolon, not comma. Control S to save. Oh, what a rookie mistake. All right, so now you have 1 to 1, 10 of them. So you have to replace this value and the output by the PHP generated by I. Okay, in order to do that, you have to replace this I with, replace this 1 with PHP, and you have to replace this 1 with PHP. And inside you echo the I. Okay, inside here you echo the I. Control S to save. Reload. 1 to 10. Yay, it is done. Okay. All right. So now, if you look at view source, right-click view source, right-click view page source, you realize that you have generated a value as well as you generated the output, what the user see on the screen. And then when you submit it to the next page, we're supposed to capture this value and use the value capture to generate the number of text boxes. Okay, great. My video is getting too long. It's a good place to stop. And in the next video, we're going to create a second page. This. All right. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.